Hello guys, welcome back to Celebrity World, where we give you the right update and all of what you will like to know. So if you're new here, or if at all you're just passing by for the first time, please take some minutes of your time to subscribe, like, comment and hit the notification button so that you don't miss in any of my uploads. Kendall Jenner and Devin Booker officially broken up. Last year's at this time, Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns had been competing with inside the NBA Finals. While the crew sooner or later fell to the Milwaukee Bucks, the assist that Booker acquired from female friend Kendall Jenner made it clean that he has plenty to be enthusiastic about past basketball. Kendall and Devin started out courting someday in 2020 and that they made their dating Instagram professional in January of 2021. But now, enthusiasts accept as true with the lanky duo may have quietly long passed their separate ways. As is so regularly the case with this type of thing, the hypothesis is primarily based totally on little greater than Kendall and Devin's current social media activity. Most of the time, that type of hypothesis doesn't keep as much as plenty scrutiny. But on this case, the web sleuths have made a quite compelling case for the truth that Kendall and Devin have known as it quits. In 2021, Jenner and Booker celebrated their first anniversary via way of means of making a song Every Difference praises on social media. We're certain they celebrated in different ways as well, however that's the element they shared with the public. This year's the huge day got here and went with none acknowledgement from both parties. The omission did now no longer cross neglected via way of means of enthusiasts, a lot of whom took it as proof that Kenny and Dev are not an item. No posts or testimonies approximately every different these days on their year's anniversary is peculiar, one commenter wrote, in keeping with UK tabloid The Daily Mail. And that's now no longer the most effective signal that those have determined to name the entirety off. Kendall and Devin is probably off. Devin deleted or archived his image of Kendall from New Year's, one Reddit person observed. Devin unliked all tweets he had favored approximately Kendall. Devin's brother unfollowed Kendall on IG, some other chimed in. If those have known as it quits, it is probably some time earlier than we obtain any type of professional confirmation. After all, Kendall has usually been plenty greater personal approximately her love existence than any of her sisters. Devin and Kendall had been noticed collectively as currently as Final Thursday at a celebration for his or her mutual buddy Stassi Karanikalev. Of course, the Kardashians are notable at final platonic buddies with their exes, so the truth that Kendall and Devin are nevertheless striking out doesn't in reality suggest plenty. Interestingly, the breakup comes simply days after an episode of The Kardashians wherein Kendall discovered that she's prepared to turn out to be a mother. Oh my god, being in an infant keep feels actual for me those days. Just like the day is coming for me. You recognize, Kendall remarked to Khloe Kardashian. I simply have such a lot of nieces and nephews at this point, she later stated at some point of a confessional phase, but it's usually interesting to satisfy a brand new little character and notice who they turn out to be. We're certain Kendall remains keen to begin her own circle of relatives. But it feels like she is probably doing it without Devin via way of means of her side. Very few folks can relate to world well-known stick insect multimillionaires, however Kendall Jenner has one detail of millennial relatability that her siblings lack: she doesn't have kids. She's the most effective one in all Kris Jenner's progeny who stays child-free. On this week's episode of The Kardashians, we noticed Kris' intention to alternate that. If Kendall's now no longer prepared to come out a marketable grandbaby, Momager Dearest needs Kendall to freeze her eggs. On Season 1, Episode 7 of The Kardashians, Kris Jenner located herself in an unenviable position because the bearer of horrific information. She had been contacted due to the fact Vogue desired Kim for the cover, now no longer Kendall. That is awkward as their mother and as their manager. But Kendall dealt with the information gracefully. The awkward element got here next. Kris recommended that possibly it's time for Kendall to consider something else. What, specifically? Maybe giving Kris a grandbaby, when you consider that Kendall is the most effective one in all her brood who has now no longer. Kendall started out to choke on her drink due to all the matters that her mother may deliver up. This became now no longer what she expected. She is flawlessly glad to now no longer have any kids. Not most effective is she a running expert and an entire individual on her very own. However, she's additionally most effective 26 and can have most effective been 25 while this became filmed. Kendall defined to the confessional digital digicum that she is doing simply fine. She is making her very own alternatives and locating herself. Kendall isn't devoted to final child-free for existence, or, if she is, she's now no longer pronouncing so. She's simply now no longer in a rush. Speaking to Chris, Kendall reminded her that it's her existence and her body. If Chris had been being greater actually pushy here and had been making those remarks off digital digicum, this can be a greater severe case of a person wanting boundaries. There are, after all, actual folks that suppose that their person youngsters somehow owe them grandchildren. Instead, Chris became simply being playfully pushy due to the fact they're filming, and you're now no longer in reality pre-purported to keep again on Truth TV. Meanwhile, Kendall advised the digital digicum that she's greater than content material to preserve residing existence on her very own for now. She became diplomatic sufficient to face up to declaring that Killy getting knocked up as a young starager became in no way a part of the plan. In any other case she wouldn't be the most effective peculiar guy out. Chris determined to drop what we're going to name an egg fact. She stated that, after she became pregnant with Kendall, Kendall's eggs fashioned internal her all earlier than her delivery. That is true. While sperm are constantly generated in testes, ova are gift from delivery and are in no way generated once more most effective released. Kendall knew this already. While maximum folks recognize this from getting the talk, while we're like 5, or from numerous biology instructions or fitness instructions developing up, Kendall stated an exclusive source. TikTok, the algorithmic nightmare app, had seemingly reminded her of this currently. The manner that Chris had advised her this indicated to Kendall that Chris had additionally visible the equal TikTok video. Kendall became extremely joyful to benefit this little bit of perception into her mother's social media habits. This, however, became while Chris opted to name the own circle of relatives medical doctor over Kendall's objections to get her input. For Kendall, if she has an accomplice and that they're now no longer married, I normally suggest at the least a cycle of egg freezing, Dr. A stated. It'd be a terrific time to freeze eggs, the medical doctor opined. The more youthful you are, the higher quality. True even though which can be, freeing eggs to be extracted and frozen isn't always as easy as generating a sperm sample. It's now no longer a horrible idea, however there's no rush. Thanks for watching to the end and guys don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share and leave your comment on the comment section below. Your comments matter.